Hey Joe, it's Folks here. If you are trying to turn your print-on-demand store into a success, this video is 100% for you. Personally, I have been selling print-on-demand products since 2016, and for the last 5 years or so, I have been able to generate a full-time income from my stores.
His YouTube channel boasts over 87,000 subscribers and over 4 million views, and his online course has helped his students collectively earn over $5 million in sales. Joe, thanks for joining me today.
And in the video today, I'm going to be drawing on my experience with my own stores as well as working with others to help them with theirs, to share with you 5 pieces of outdated advice or just strategies that you should avoid in general. And if you stay until the end, I will reveal another bonus thing that you should avoid on your store, and hopefully it will help you to save yourself a lot of time. If anything I say today is something you disagree with, please let me know down in the comments and we can discuss it. Now, personally, I sell print-on-demand products on Shopify. This means I am building my own store, my own website, I have my own domain name, my own branding, my own social media pages, and I am building my own thing. I am not selling on marketplaces like Redbubble, Amazon, or even Etsy. And a lot of people recommend beginners when they're just getting started to go that route, meaning to sell on a marketplace. They say that way they don't have to worry about getting their own traffic, they can just focus on making designs.
Long term, you're going to have assets. That time's going to give you an ROI. If you put 6 months of time into an Etsy shop or a Redbubble shop or whatever it is, you're after 6 months going to have a marketplace shop. 6 months of a brand, you're going to have an asset. That's a website, that's an email list, that's a social media page with followers that ultimately could be sold. I have sold print-on-demand stores in the past. I'm not saying everybody here has to do that, but you have an asset. And that is something that I think is a tremendous value for the brand-based side.
And I think telling beginners to start on a marketplace is bad advice for a few reasons. The first is that building your own brand, your own store, is a completely different strategy than selling on a marketplace. It is very unlikely that any of the experience you would gain from selling on a marketplace would even translate to having your own store. They are essentially two completely different businesses. Yes, they do use print on demand to fulfill their orders, but at the end of the day, they are two completely different things. It is much more than just where you are selling your products. I always say if you have a dream to run your own store, to build your own brand, gain followers, and actually create a space of your own, then just go do that. Yes, there will be things that you have to learn, but at the end of the day, those are things that you can figure out. In fact, I do have a free course. It is called POD for Dummies. It shows you how to build your store and get started with social media marketing. It is completely free, like I said, and there is a link down in the description. The next thing that I'm going to review with you is something that I see a lot of people do when it comes to starting their own store on Shopify. Take a look at this here. As we scroll down, we can see that they've basically taken the same design and put it on 8 different items. This is a great way to make your store look super cheap. It is obviously okay to have the same design on multiple items, but don't display them all next to each other like this. What you want to do with your own store is create a unique line of products and actually give some thought to the different items that you are selecting to sell. I've got lots of videos here on my channel about product selection, but right here we see several different t-shirt options. We see a hat, we see hoodies, we see baby onesies, and we have the same design on all of them, and it kind of gives a mass-produced look and definitely doesn't help them to build a brand that feels exclusive. The next thing is about your designs. A lot of people say that keeping your design simple is a great way to make sales. I partially would agree that simple designs do sell well, but sometimes people go a little bit too far with that. Take a look at this store here. You can see that they basically have these white t-shirts with black text and some clip art on them. I would argue that this is a little too simple. I think these designs also have a little bit of a placement issue. They do seem a little bit low on the belly. To me, I think personally that text should be a little bit higher on the chest, kind of like right here or so. And you can see each one of them is kind of like that. But again, this is an example of simple sells going a little bit too far. I recently made this video here where I broke down some specific things that you'll want to focus on when it comes to creating your designs to make sure that they actually sell. Make sure to check that out. Ultimately, designs should be simple, but they should still look good, using more than just clip art, maybe some sort of illustration, or even a few different colors or different types of font styles within the design is definitely key to being able to make sales. Also too, if you're not selling shirts, there's some really cool things that you can do with your actual designs. As we look through these different tote bags, you can see that they have created designs that definitely could be described as simple, but they are obviously much more detailed than the ones that we were just looking at. The goal is to create a cool tote bag, not just to create some sort of a PNG graphic and throw it on a whole bunch of different products. When you do that, you sort of end up with this look here, and these are the types of things that usually don't sell. The next thing to avoid is doing free shipping on your store. I think a lot of beginners getting into print on demand think that they have to do free shipping. Obviously, if you are selling on Amazon or Etsy, sometimes free shipping can actually help you to stand out amongst competitors. But again, as I said at the beginning, I do not sell on Etsy. I build my own brands, my own websites, and free shipping is not something that I give to every single person. In most cases, what I implement is some sort of a way that someone can get free shipping by spending more on the store. A lot of times, if someone spends $50 or more or $100 or more, they will get free shipping. And if they're just buying one item and the order total is not that much, they do have to pay for shipping. This here is a checkout that I just sort of went through on a store built on Shopify to sort of demonstrate this. You can see that I've got one shirt inside of the actual cart, and it is trying to charge me $4.90 for the shipping. Basically, because I've only bought one thing, I am still paying a small amount for the shipping on the item. Doing this will save you money. You will not be spending a majority of your profit on the shipping costs if people are only buying one item. In most cases, you could set this up as some sort of a flat rate on your store, like $4.90, for example, like that store had. And ultimately, if you do have a way for someone to get free shipping by spending more, you will sort of incentivize them to do so. Driving average order value on your store is a great way to be more profitable. Free shipping on standalone websites is also something that is not super common for every single item that they sell. In most cases as well, if you're just shopping for clothing or home decor, you're going to be paying some sort of shipping, especially if your order value is quite low. I would encourage you to do some research, go look at different clothing websites or even makeup or home decor, like I said, and you will see in a lot of cases that they only give free shipping if you spend a certain amount. And ultimately, if you're just getting started, this will help you to protect your profits. Another thing that I see a lot of people do is that they choose lots of different niches for their store. I always say if you're building a Shopify store like you're building a brand, you sort of want to try to do one thing well. In a lot of cases, that one thing could be your niche, meaning you could build a niche-based store like this here. This is called powderaddicts.com. They create products for people that like winter sports. In that case, there would be no need to start selling to nurses or firefighters or sports parents. You've got a niche and you've built a store around it. Obviously, if you are selling on Etsy or on Amazon, a lot of that does not come into play, but when you're starting your own store, you want to do one specific thing well. In some cases, that could be your niche. In other cases, you could do something like this. This is a product-focused store. They sell print-on-demand metal signs, and they make products for more than one niche. You will see some nautical items on here, as well as some mountain-themed stuff. Ultimately, they could make designs for any niche they want, because the specific thing that they are doing well is their product. It is a store that is basically branding themselves behind these metal signs, ultimately giving them something specific that they are in fact doing well. Creating a massive general store with tons of different product types and tons of different niches is going to be something that is a little bit tough for you to pull off. I have seen many people try, and in a lot of cases it ends up seeming like it is sort of a confusing mess of things on the store, and ultimately I would say try to avoid that. As I mentioned, I do have a bonus thing for you to avoid, and it's all about selling print-on-demand items for the holidays.
I know that holidays are sort of the basic thing that we say to everybody. Okay, if you're looking to create designs, start with the holidays first, so that you can get into the practice of creating. Is that still something people should keep an eye on?
I think the worst thing ever would be to create like a Merry Christmas t-shirt or something like that, or a Merry Christmas mug or something like that. But what if you cross-niched it?
I have seen tons of people get into print on demand and immediately start going all in on a holiday. This is bad advice for two reasons. As I am making this video, it is the middle of September, and it's probably likely that a lot of you watching this video are creating Halloween themed designs right now. Or maybe you're watching this video in about a month or so and you're making Christmas designs. Or maybe you're watching this video like 3 months from now and you're in the process of making Valentine's Day designs. Or if we keep going, St. Patrick's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, the list goes on and on and on. The first reason this is a bad strategy if you're just getting started is that once the holiday is over and you've spent all of your time creating designs for that holiday, you are basically going to be back to the drawing board trying to figure out what's next for your store. I always tell people if you're just getting started or if you have not got a lot of sales yet, you should focus on trying to create the products that you will sell all year long. This way you have something established, you have a steady flow of bestsellers on your site, and you won't have to reinvent your product catalog every 2 to 3 3 months. The second thing is something that I sort of said in that clip. Selling to a holiday only is not really a niche. Basically what I'm saying is that doing things like this for Halloween is maybe a good approach if you're selling products on Amazon and someone is searching for Halloween sweatshirts. In a lot of cases, there's probably going to be 300,000 designs that actually show up, so it's probably not going to be worth your time. But if you are building your own store, doing this is not a niche. That's sort of what I said in the video clip that I showed you. That was from a Printify event in New York City, where I said a better strategy would be to cross niche your niche with the actual holiday. Obviously, not every niche is going to be ideal for this, but that is a great way to actually sell to the holiday season or some sort of a season during the year. Doing something like this here is a much better approach for the holiday season. You are taking an existing niche, this one here is about being a teacher, and blending it with the Halloween season. The same thing could be done for holidays like Valentine's Day or even Mother's Day, where you take an existing niche and you make a design based on the holiday. In my experience, that typically leads to a lot more sales. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if you want to try holiday stuff when you're just getting started, I would say go for it. The only thing you'll have to think about is after the holiday passes that you'll need to actually recreate your product line again. So hopefully this has been helpful today. Like I said, everything that I shared is just based on my own experiences running my own stores and working with others to help them with theirs. If you need help getting started with your own Shopify store, or even if you want to just learn more about building your own website, using social media to get traffic, as I mentioned at the beginning, I do have a free print-on-demand course. There is a link down in the description. Inside are over 30 videos showing you how to build your store and get started selling products on social media. If you have any questions, or if you just have anything to add, maybe there's something I said today that you don't 100% agree with, I would love to discuss it with you, so please leave it down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.